Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Circuit de la Sarthe with the Porsche 919, and this is on the racing medium tires with BOP on and tuning disabled. And please be aware that this is recorded on version 1.26 as a next update is dropping in the middle of the week of this race, so there could be some changes that can change how cars handle or whether they perform better or worse. But anyways, bring yourself towards the right side of the track and you're braking when you're about to reach the first total sign that is on the right. So go ahead and apply full braking power, turning in when you're passing the total sign that is hanging out over here. Go down to second gear for more rotation, being mindful about your throttle input, but exit on fourth gear. And do be careful about taking advantage of the curves, as getting too greedy with them can result in a track penalty. Then brake shortly after you pass this cone that is on the right. There's another braking reference marker, so before you pass the path that is on the right, this is where you start to brake and turn in, going down to fifth gear, just trying to maintain as much momentum as possible. For Tetra Rouge, you can easily take it flat out, just like that, as the Porsche 919 has a ridiculous amount of downforce. And on time trial, you want to rev the heck out of 6th gear, changing gears when you're about to hit 297 kilometers per hour, which is around 185 miles per hour. So you're shifting just before you hit the 8,000 rev range. Now look for the 100 meter board, as you're going to brake just as you start to pass it. So full braking power, turning in just before you pass the marshals that are on the left, and you want to go down to third gear for more rotation, but you can exit on fourth gear. That way you don't have to shift up in the middle of the straight. So over here I forgot to shift up to fourth gear in the middle of the first chicane. But anyways, let's go ahead and fast forward through this. Bring yourself towards the right, brake just after you pass the 100 meter board. So this is just like the first chicane we just went through, except it's a little bit sharper. You can go pretty aggressive into the entry of the chicane, go down to third gear for more rotation, fourth gear as you exit the turn, and just trying to get on the throttle as soon as you can. In a moment we will fast forward through this. Look for the part where the curb is sticking out on the right. So right around here where you hit the apex of this mini right turn, that's where you start to fully brake, turning in before the gravel on the left ends. You can go down to first gear for more rotation, but exit this turn on third gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can, so you can try to get the hybrid to deploy as quickly as possible. Fast forward through this once again. You could take this right turn flat out, but shortly after the curb on the right ends, that's where you want to start to brake as much as you can for Indianapolis, which is this left turn, and you're going to turn in when the curb on the right ends. You can go down to third gear for more rotation and exit on fourth gear for a bit more stability. Now for Arnage, you want to bring yourself towards the left, brake before you pass the sign that is on the right. So go out full braking power, turning in before the curb on the left ends. So go down to first gear for more rotation, but exit Arnage on third gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can. And with these sharp turns, you want to try to straighten up the car as soon as you can, so you can get the hybrid deployed as soon as you can. For the Porsche curves that are coming up, you can easily take it flat out in the Porsche 919, as this car has a ton of downforce. So you're turning in when you pass the second set of Goodyear signs and start to turn in. Easily take it flat out, just trying to turn in as gently as possible, trying to stay on 6th gear. Do be aware, as we exit the Porsche curves, it does get a little more sharp, so start to turn in right around here. Still going flat out, just turning in a little bit more, and for a short moment you will need to go into 7th gear as we get ready to go through the 4 chicanes. So brake before you reach the curb that is on the right, full braking power, and you want to take advantage of the curbs. So just trying to go in there with as much speed as possible, braking before the curb on the right starts, turning in before the curb on the right ends. And again, just trying to take advantage of the curbs, exiting the 4th chicane on 4th gear. And in a moment, we'll go ahead and go through this again, but I will not stop the video. So let's get that started. Alright, so here we go, getting ready to start the lap. So the lap curve, you can easily take it flat out, but bring yourself towards the right, and you're looking for the first sign that is on the right as you want to brake just as you pass it. And you can take advantage of the curves, but don't get too greedy, otherwise you do risk getting a track penalty. Just trying to maintain as much momentum as possible, take advantage of the Porsche's downforce, braking really late and just trying to get on the throttle as soon as you can. Again, maintain that momentum. For Tete Rouge, you can easily take it flat out. And in time trial, as I mentioned before, you want to rev the heck out of this car, shifting when you reach around 185 miles per hour, which is around 297 kilometers per hour. And you want to bring yourself towards the left side of the track for the first chicane, looking for the 100 meter board, as that is your braking point. Getting a little aggressive with the curves and your turn in, and you want to really take advantage of the Porsche 919's crazy amount of downforce. And do be aware that while the Porsche 919 is not that good when it comes to top speed, its downforce, its high speed handling is ridiculously good, to the point where you make up a lot of time, for example through the Porsche curves. But anyways, brake just after the 100 meter board. You want to be a little more careful going through the second chicane, as it's a little sharper than the first one. And go ahead and take a nice deep breath before we get ready to deal with the very end of the Mulsanne straight. Now you want to look for the mini apex of the right turn that is coming up. So not the Mulsanne turn itself, but this little kink right here. Brake right here, full braking power, going down to 1st gear for more rotation, but exiting on 3rd gear. Just trying to straighten up the car to take advantage of the hybrid deployment. Now you can take another nice deep breath before we get ready to deal with Indianapolis and Arnage. And as we get ready to go through the right turn that takes you to Indianapolis, you can easily take it flat out, but bring yourself towards the right side of the track. Brake just after the curb on the right ends. Just trying to carry as much speed into Indianapolis or through Indianapolis. Brake nice and early for Arnage. It's a really sharp right turn, so 1st gear for rotation, but 3rd gear as you exit Arnage. Take one last deep breath before we get to go through the fun part, which is the Porsche curves. So this is where the Porsche 919 makes up a lot of time, as you can easily take these turns flat out. So there you go, taking it flat out, just trying to be really smooth with your turning inputs. As we get ready to exit the Porsche curves, you can still take it flat out, but you do need to turn in a little bit more, so you will be scrubbing off a little bit of speed. And then get really aggressive as we go through the 4th chicane, braking as late as possible, taking advantage of the curves, and trying to set yourself up for a good exit out of the chicane. And with this, I was able to get a 3:15.3. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to be able to set a lap or even get into 3:14, so I just settle with this lap time for now. But that's all from me. If you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I do have a membership program thing that you can check out down below if you want to further support this channel. And thank you guys for supporting the channel as well. But this is Mr. MCA. Have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video.